Welcome back to the deep dive. It is Sunday, February 15th, 2026.
Hey there.
So, I'm looking at the sources for this week. We've got Walmart earnings, a Supreme Court ruling, and gold hitting $5,000. I mean, it just feels like a completely chaotic mix.
It really does.
Is there actually a through line here, or is this just going to be a messy week of news?
It looks disjointed on the surface for sure. But if you connect the dots, every single data point this week, from, the retail shelf to the high court, it's all answering one question.
Okay.
Is the global financial system stable, or are the cracks finally about to break open?
Wow. That is a heavy frame for a week that starts with a holiday. U.S. markets are closed tomorrow, right, for President's Day?
They are. And honestly, traders are going to need that extra day to prep.
I bet.
Because while Monday is quiet, the rest of the week is what strategists are calling a policy and data collision. And that first collision point, it happens Tuesday.
The consumer test. This is the Walmart Q4 earnings report.
That's the one.
But haven't we heard this before? Hasn't Walmart been, crying wolf about the consumer for 3 quarters now? Why is this specific report the one?
Because up until now, the data has been really mixed. Inflation has been sticky, sure, but spending kept up. The sources are all suggesting this Tuesday is different.
Different how?
We are looking for the snap point. Walmart's numbers are going to tell us if Americans are still absorbing higher costs or if they have literally hit the wall.
So it's the difference between complaining about prices and actually just closing the wallet.
And actually closing the wallet, exactly. If Walmart shows the consumer is struggling, that sets a really grim tone.
And I'm guessing that tone carries over.
It does. And Wednesday, it gives us a global sanity check. We get UK inflation data markets are bracing for 3% there. But the more interesting signal is from the Reserve Bank of New Zealand.
The RBNZ. Okay, the notes mention they might shift to a neutral stance. I see that term a lot. But what does neutral actually imply for, a normal person's portfolio?
It's central bank speak for we're stuck. They aren't hiking rates anymore, but they can't cut them either. It signals the inflation fight is paused, not won. If they go neutral, it confirms high costs are here to stay, and not just in the U.S.
Okay, so a struggling consumer, stuck central banks. That brings us to Friday, February 20th. The sources are calling it Super Friday.
Yep. We get GDP numbers, but that's not the main event. The big story is the Supreme Court.
The massive wild card.
This is it. The court is issuing its ruling on the Liberation Day tariff policies.
Let's stop there for a second. The notes call this a massive economic lever, but they don't really explain the mechanics. What actually is this tariff policy they're ruling on?
It boils down to executive power. The court is deciding if the president can unilaterally impose a 20% export tax without Congress.
20%?
If the court upholds the policy, supply chain costs for emerging markets instantly jump 20%.
That's the tariff cliff the articles mention. It's not gradual. It's an immediate price hike.
An instant shock. If that ruling goes through, you pull the rug out from under emerging market economies. But if the court strikes it down, the markets have to reprice the U.S. dollar, immediately.
It sounds like a total binary gamble. And that uncertainty probably explains the other major trend I'm seeing, the flight to safety.
Absolutely.
I saw the gold chart. Are we really testing $5,000 an ounce?
We are, right now. And gold hitting 5,000, that is the ultimate fear signal. It means big money is genuinely scared of what happens on Friday.
And it's not just gold.
No, that fear is draining money out of the stock market, too.
The so-called AI fatigue.
It's labeled fatigue, but I think it's actually just risk management. For the last 2 years, investors bought anything with AI in the name. Now
they're dumping it.
They're dumping those high-growth tech stocks and parking cash in gold or defensive dividend stocks. You just don't want to hold volatile tech if the Supreme Court suddenly upends global trade. You want gold bars.
So to map this out, use Monday to prep. Tuesday, Walmart tells us if the consumer is broke. Wednesday, the central banks tell us inflation is stuck.
And Friday, the Supreme Court might redefine the cost of doing business globally.
That really is the pivot point. Friday could define the entire quarter.
No question.
It's going to be a tense week. I guess I want to leave you with this final thought. Markets usually react after news happens, but with gold hitting these historic highs and tech selling off before the Supreme Court even rules, is the smart money already betting that this tariff ruling is going to be a disaster?
That is the $5,000 question, isn't it?
Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the other side of the volatility.